Hi, y'all. Welcome to Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. We got to rock and roll. We got a lot of stuff to cover today. The 4-day school week is starting to show up in Louisiana a lot. And it's really, and look, I don't care if they do 4 or 5 days. They don't bother me. But is the 4-day school week really just mostly about money? And that's what I think it's about. Vols Parish, a C- graded public school system, latest in the United States to switch to a 4-day week, eliminating Monday classes. That means Brandon go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. School board voted 7-2 on March 12th to make changes to the 1920 academic year, which would be next year. Advocates say 4-day school weeks can save money and help recruit and return certified teachers. More than 500 U.S. schools have switched to 4-day weeks. Now, by the way, it's not that I got an opinion right or wrong on this. I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer. But I think it goes to show you, and you're going to see a lot more in Louisiana probably do this. They're going to probably go to a 4-day week because our business climate just cannot maintain the amount of school and the amount of money they need to, quote, operate the schools. You know, it's we came up in the old 5-day. You went up 5 days. You got up, you ate breakfast, you went to school. And I just hope, and people that are traveling through can answer this question for us. How's that worked out with the families and the kids? And I always think about kids needing something to do. That's a whole nother day. Have kids gotten in trouble? Have kids gotten more trouble? Have kids gotten in less trouble? Has that even affected at all? Can parents handle, because, most typical families, not everybody, they get up and go to work in the morning. So does that mean you got to have more money for daycare if you got young kids at home? So is that all considered in this? That would be, I guess, the next thing. It's something that what bothers me about this doesn't seem to bother anybody else. And it's not the 4-day school week. Brandon, you and me probably would jump up and down with 4-day school week. We'd probably love that. The parts that bother me is that our economy has flattened out so bad, and they keep bragging about how great it is, but yet most of these school districts are just as poor as they can be. I mean, that's what concerns me. We don't worry about the economy. We don't worry about jobs. We don't worry about jobs when kids got out of college. Just keep jacking up the price of colleges and universities, and people are still leaving this state. I just got off the phone with somebody without mentioning his name. He talked a lot about the out-migration of people that are leaving. And so schools are going to a 4-day work week because it's going to be cheaper for them. But does it benefit the school? Does it benefit the student? Does it benefit the parents? And what bothers me is nobody cares about the private sector, so we're going to let the private sector jobs just go to Texas and go everywhere else, and we're not going to ever worry about getting our house in order when it comes to business. In Baton Rouge and Bell Edwards, they're going to continue just to pound us with taxes and tell us that we got to have them and everything's better for you, and people are leaving the state. You don't have as many people. Some of these schools are just declining. There's not anybody driving down the road and going, I know schools that are really expanding. Most of them are declining with number of students. Private schools are getting hit too. I saw a couple Catholic schools, Brandon, one in Houma and one in, I want to say Opelousas. Didn't y'all do a report the other day, one in Crowley or Opelousas? One of the
Crowley.
Okay, one of the private schools, Catholic schools, whatever, they weren't going to be around anymore. And that's related to jobs and businesses and people having money. Do you see what I'm saying? If you put money in the state and local governments and you pile in the amount of taxes, it's not making the economy better, and it never will. It works the other way around. If your economy's booming and people are doing well and they want to send their kids to private school, that's great. I know Vols Parish is not a booming economy. Neither is anywhere else in the country, state, just about. But that's what bothers me, that nobody's looking at the big picture. You listen to Bell Edwards, you listen to the Advocate, listen to the media, all they keep saying is taxes, raise taxes, raise taxes, raise taxes. Sooner or later, it's not going to be anybody to raise taxes on. We got so many poor people in the state who don't pay income taxes. They don't pay a lot of taxes. But we don't want to look at that. We don't want to change what we're doing in the business model. We want state government to keep going the same direction, local governments to keep going the same direction. These local governments are the ones that are frustrated. They're the ones having to back down and say, we got to do something different. Let's go to a 4-day school week. Now, once again, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I've not had a 4-day school week. I'm not living in a system like that. I would think as a kid, I'd be pumped up to have a 4-day week. The Vols Parish previously worked in the B-graded Caldwell Parish school system, which already operated on a 4-day week. In addition to Vols, the C-graded Natchitoches Parish system this year considered a 4-day week, but dropped the idea Thursday, according to the Natchitoches Parish Journal report. So here's our choices, I see. We're going to either make this a very friendly business state, where there's plenty of tax dollars to go around, or we're going to continue to pound our businesses into the ground, and then we got to start making adjustments. Private schools going out of business, public schools consolidating or going to a 4-day school week. Well, let me ask a question. What happens in a Vols Parish, and I'm not picking on them, I'm using them as an example, if they can't even spend enough money for the 4-day week? Where do they go to, a 3-day work week? Once again, I don't really, 4-day, 5 days, who cares? I do worry about the families. I worry about the daycare. I worry about the cost of that, how the parents make it, how do they make the adjustments. I am concerned about that. But my big concern is a real big picture that I don't think we got enough people in Louisiana looking at. What is our business climate like? And it's not pretty. And if it was pretty, they wouldn't even be talking about a 3-day work week. And even when you read the articles, and all the articles I read on a 4-day work week, advocates say 4-day school weeks can save money. That's it. 4-day school week can save money. Forget the kids. What about education? Well, none of that matters. Money. Well, if money matters, then you need to get your business climate. You got to get your business climate better. This is going to force people that don't have money. They're going to look at it and say, hey, we don't have any money either. You know? Remember when they told us we would work 4 days? Brandy may not remember that, but they used to tell us back in the day, one day it'd be 4-day work week. Well, if I work 4 days a week every week, I might go broke. So I'm just telling you that unless we decide to fix our business climate where we have low taxes or less taxes or no taxes on businesses, then expect this to be the norm. Expect everybody to go, and it's all because of money, period. Now, if a teacher works 4 days a work week, will a teacher make less? I know what they're doing. They're adding a little bit more time on the backside of a day, Brandon, to make up for the 4-day work week. So they go to school. They go a little early and stay a little later. They make up for the time to make sure they can get all the time in. And that's all good. But I'm not here to argue that merit. Is it the point I'm arguing is that people are doing this because they have no money, because they have no jobs. My deal is, we're going to have to consolidate some parishes. Oh, my God, we're not doing that. Don't do it. And you don't have businesses to help your parish continue to go. You're going to keep going to the state of Louisiana. These representatives and senators go down there. They got to sell their soul to get money to bring back to the local government. And that's my big concern right now. I'm the only one that is so concerned about the jobs and stuff in this state and the way we're headed, yet I don't see that or feel that with everybody else. You're not going to change the state till we change the job climate. You're not going to have more money till you change the job climate. And almost all these parishes are in trouble. And we don't want to do the one thing that can change it. We become the business-friendly state in this country. Not the least friendly like we are now. And that's what's going to change it. And nobody wants to deal with it. All they want to know is how much money do we have and how much we can go take from people. And that, my friend, is why we have the problems that we have. It doesn't need to be that way. Now, let's go back to the 4-day week. And by the way, you're welcome to be part of it by just calling the Hickson Hazard hotline, 844-766-6607. One of the things, and somebody just made the point, don't forget the state wants to give big pay raises. I know. But here's the other thing. I'm just going to tell you, there's a big push to do some kind of Constitution Convention. There's a big push to do tax reform. And I'm just going to tell you right now, with the wrong people in there, tax reform will be a tax increase. That's what Stelly was. Horrendous tax increase. Okay? And so what happens is, part of the tax reform, and I'm just telling you through the Constitutional Convention, and you want to get some money into the coffers of local government, is to get rid of the homestead exemption. Now, you people sitting there, getting rid of the homestead exemption may be a great idea, but it's not a great idea keeping all other taxes the same, I can promise you. But when they start talking about tax reform and constitutional convention, you're going to hear a lot of this during the session and after next year's election. We got to fix it. But they're not, I'm just watched this long enough to know what I'm talking about. They're not trying to fix it. They're trying to figure out a way to get more money out of your pockets to put in the coffers of government, period. That's not a compromise. That's not tax reform. Stelly was 100% taking money out of people that itemize his pocket, people that itemize on the taxes pocket. We got so many poor people in this state, they're not going to pay anything. They're just targeting the people that have any kind of money at all. Sooner or later, they're going to run out of our money. So what you want to do with tax reform is grow the tax base, but lower the rate. That way, everybody pays less, but more people pay into it. That ain't what we have here. So they're talking about a 4-day school week. I'm just telling you. So you live in a Vols Parish, you go to a 4-day school week, the legislature changes some on homestead exemption. You got Republicans in Baton Rouge, Dan Clater, and I forget the other ones, that are all saying, well, we need to do something about this this homestead exemption. We got to live in the real world. Well, just think about what I'm telling you. Let's say tomorrow they voted to get rid of homestead exemption. Now, businesses would be pumped. But without real changes, the only thing that will do is to take more money out of people's pockets. So let's go to Vols Parish. Tomorrow there's no homestead exemption. I don't know how many people it affects. I don't know what the average price, excuse me. I don't know what the average price of a home is in Vols Parish. But I can tell you if the answer is just to get rid of the homestead exemption, you're going to pay a lot more money. My gut feeling is Vols Parish is probably older. Probably more retirees. How many businesses are in Vols Parish? Is Vols Parish rolling? Is that where they got one of the casinos at, Brandon? Maybe some gambling? Boy, how's gambling worked out for this state? That means, remember how they sold it when it first came in? Man, less taxes for everybody. They brought gambling in, and we pay more taxes now than we ever have. But I'm trying to tell you what's coming. And somebody like Bell Edwards and Jay Darden will be the guys that will bring this right back in our face. The media's been begging for tax reform. They've been begging for this 2020 vision deal. But I can promise you, if they ever get to a Constitutional Convention, if they ever do tax reform, I just don't think we have enough heart and soul and guts to fight them on what they really want. And what they want is more money in state government. They want a steadier stream of money going to state government and local governments, and the hell with your pocketbooks. The heck with your wallet. The heck with your job. They don't care about that. Long as they're getting more, they keep writing articles. Well, the state's budget is stabilized. Really? Robert Travis Scott did an article. right after the section said in 2020 we got $1 billion problem. But they're not going to be honest about that till it's too late. What is Bel Edwards going to do when he comes back? You know, they bragging now, we're not raising taxes this session. Wow, you giving us a break? For 3 years, that's all we talked about. They're going to give us a 1-year break, hoping they can win, and in 4 years we'll hear gas tax, getting ready to shove that down our throat, up our. That's what they're getting ready to try to do. But we need. Let me tell you something else they're going to do. They're going to tell all the contractors. Brandon, we still good? Okay. They're going to take all the contractors and the contractors who've been on my rear end already, some of them, about wanting the gas tax, we need to work. Yeah. So raise my taxes so they can have work. What can we do to raise taxes so I can be guaranteed I'm going to get some money? The problem is all those contractors ain't going to make money. People are going to make money on the roads that are once tied to Bel Edwards and Jay Dordon. That's who's going to make money. The political contractors. You know, just think about what I said. They're the ones that are going to make money. All the ones that think they're going to make money going to get the shaft. All of them. But they'll be out there pushing for it. All right, folks, 4-day school week. Do you like the idea? Can you handle it? How many parents out there say, oh, that worked perfect for me? It may. I'm just telling you what this is all about. It's all about money because we don't make the business climate the way it ought to be. Prospering and growing every day and hiring people. Take a break. Be right back. Hi, hello. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has that hotline. Let me go over this real quick. Don't lose the chance for reform in 2020. This is the Advocate. When one of the policy leaders at the state capitol, Barry Irwin, used the phrase almost casually, it should have been a cause for chills and dismay for anyone who wants the state of Louisiana to grow and progress. And then he starts talking about showing that we're 49th in education achievement among the state's second highest poverty rate. So my question is, you realize in the South we spend as much money on education as anybody. We really do. Some we spend a lot more money, but it hasn't changed anything. So how does reforming anything going to change anything when we don't change the things that need to be changed? How do you do that? How do you change anything? By just throwing money at the problem. And folks, that's all we do here. Throw money at the problems. Okay? We throw money at a problem, but it never fixes the problem. Not at all. You try it at home. You can throw money at your problem with debt, number of car notes, and all that stuff. It's not going to change the problem if you don't change. They mention in people like the Committee of 100 Economic Development, all liberal programs. Stephen Von Perry, Andy Copeland. These guys are not going to change anything. They've been there. They've been in government. They were with the Mike Foster administration. What changed? What changed? These are the same guys. We just retread and bring the same people through thinking we're going to make some kind of major change, and we're not. Not with the same people. It's like saying John Alario or Francis Thompson are going to change the way we do state government. Okay? They're not going to ever change the way state government does. They benefited from it. They benefited from the system. They got people benefiting from the system just like we are. Why do you think the governor wanted more taxes than Jay Dordon? Because they know the system. They know how the system works. And so what they wanted, they want more of the system. And that's what you got when you give them more tax dollars. More of the same. But no major changes. So what do we start doing? We start adjusting to the way things are here by going to a 4-day school week. We adjust to a 4-day school week. Not because people want to go to a 4-day school week. It's because, well, we got to save money. You know, we're doing things to fix things, but we're really not doing things to fix things. We're doing things to really keep things just as they are. Give you an example. What has the governor done about the retirement system? That's $22 billion in a hole right now. Nothing. They won't fix roads unless we give them an arm, a leg, and a foot. In other words, more taxes. They've made the job situation worse. I'm trying to think of one thing that Bell Edwards can run on and say he did. He balanced the budget by overtaxing us $7 billion, which, by the way, Robert Travis Scott said in 2020, we're going to look up and go, holy cow, here comes another big run. So there's nothing that's changed, and yet people believe if they could get more money and put it in the same system, it's going to work. It's kind of like AOC. They think if we can have more money in socialism, then it's going to work. And it's not going to work. It's proven not to work. We actually need radical change now. I think the governor set us back 10 years. We need radical change to make a difference in the state of Louisiana, and I don't see that happening. And I don't see the leaders stepping up saying we need to do it. And the ones that have stepped up don't have enough of them to make a difference. Yet, I read this, I go over this, I go by the editorials, I read everything that I could possibly read, I talk to people. Nothing changes. And I don't think anybody wants it to change. I don't know if this is true. Brandon, you know, they came out with the unemployment rate. I'm reading the Advocate now. State's unemployment rate was 5.2%. Unemployment has gone down. It's like 3.8. 3.7 or 3.8, Brandon, you remember? Okay. How's Louisiana 5.2? That's totally opposite direction. People quit looking for work and they're moving out. 5.2%. But you won't see this. I found this in the Advocate in the business section.
It's 3.8 nationally, by the way.
Okay. 5.2 here, Brian. Is that good? We helping the average stay up to 3.8. Folks, I'm not wrong on this job thing. The first governor candidate who comes out with a plan to be more like Texas, to start really pushing the issue of jobs here, it's going to be the guy that's going to be the next governor. He's got to have a plan. He's got to have a plan to push it, to work it. It can't be taxes. Bell Edwards' plan is to taxes to death. He did, with the help of all the Democrats and a few Motax and Abraham-type people and Page Cortez types. The Republicans that did that let us down so bad it's not even funny. They need to be beat at the polls. We got to have one of these governor candidates, if not both of them, harping on jobs and what they're going to do to fix this situation. They can call for a constitutional convention, but it needs to be specific. It doesn't need to be just thrown out there. We need to know what you're going to do, and we need to work at it. And you'll be the next governor, because people want another governor. They want somebody who gives a flip about the people that are here. And them having a job matters if they're going to stay. Calvin in West Monroe, welcome to the Moon Griffon Show.
Hey, Moon, I didn't know if you saw it or not, but KTVE is saying that John Bell has gotten CenturyLink to stay in Monroe till 2025.
Yeah, you know, it's amazing. First of all, John Bell Edwards has nothing to do with CenturyLink. Number two is right. CenturyLink has been losing some really quality and people at the top for years.
Yeah.
Okay. And they can write, you need to send that to me because they can write that all they want to. That's a bunch of bunk.
I got it right here, man.
CenturyLink can leave anytime they want to, and they know it.
Right.
All right, what you got, Brian? Hold up, Calvin.
Oh, okay, I got it right here. I mean, I've got the article. I can send it to you.
Yeah,
you can
send
look
it to
over
me.
The commercial break.
Send it to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's very short, actually. Never mind. It says, according to our content partners at the News Star, Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards and CenturyLink have reached a deal to keep the company's headquarters in Monroe through 2025. Sources tell the News Star the deal will be announced in the coming weeks.
Hey, all
Just love
politics,
that comes out at election time.
Calvin, all politics, 100% BS.
No
The
doubt.
same thing as the helicopter company down there. It's coming in 2025. It never stops with these people. It never stops with them. It's all politics, and I'm upset CenturyLink lets them be used that way.
Yeah. Well, you have a blessed day, man.
All right, Calvin. God bless. Appreciate the call. Hey, it's going to happen everywhere. They want him elected. The News Star wants him reelected. Bel Edwards has nothing to do with that. Bel Edwards says that he's saving jobs. The jobs have ran out this state because of this man. And the unfriendly business climate he's doing, especially in oil and gas. Just slapping them all over the place. They got people listening to this program. They email me and call all the time about how they have to work over there because of the lawsuits and things that are going on. All right, let's take a break. 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline. What a joke. If Donald Trump voters fall for that, look in the mirror and you'll find all the ignorance you can find in your lifetime right there in your own mirror. Take a break. Be back. And I mean that. I'm not calling you ignorant. I just said look in the mirror. We'll be right back. Hi, hello. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline if you'd like to be part of the program. Your opportunity to be a voice. All righty. Now, let's talk a little bit about this. Brandon just sent it to me. First of all, it's a Greg Hilbin article. It could be true. It could be an outright lie. It's Greg Hilbin. Okay? Number two is CenturyLink. Edwards has nothing to do with CenturyLink. They can do all the deal cutting they want. CenturyLink has moved out a bunch of people already. Just telling you, being honest with you. Love the company. Company I told you all about, Mr. Clark Williams. He's made a big difference in my life. But to sit here and say Bel Edwards is cutting the deal for them to stay at 2025 is 100,000% political. And I told y'all this was coming. And that's exactly what happened. I love CenturyLink. The people that work there, I know a lot of people that work there. Bel Edwards has reached an agreement to extend company's commitment to maintain its headquarters in Louisiana to 2025. Yes, and that new job center that's coming to New Orleans will have all its jobs by 2025. The helicopter place, 2025. All political. I've explained this to y'all 1,000 times how these people do this. Monroe News Star runs up behind the governor's rear end. That's just what they do. It's who they are. It's what the media is here. Scott is not, look, he backed into the governorship. He doesn't, his base is about 500,000 voters. That's his base. And people read this stuff, you got to understand what you're reading. This is election year BS. I'm not going to tell you what the BS stand for. It's 100% BS. He's cutting a deal to keep their headquarters here. Everybody knows eventually they're going to be gone. They're going to always have a presence here. The CEO lives in Denver. They have shipped more people to Denver than people can kind of stick at. I love this company. I wish they'd ever stay, but Bel Edwards has nothing to do with CenturyLink. He's never had anything to do with CenturyLink. What he does is some kind of way the people that are governors, because they can buy influence or be bought and influenced. That's what happens with a lot of these people. And listen to a source with direct knowledge of the deal confirmed, the U.S. Today Network. A source, Brandon. My sources tell me that we've lost a lot of important people there. I remember, Brandon, you might not remember this. We had State Farm had their office in Monroe, Louisiana. It was a regional office. Guy Barr, Mr. Guy Barr was the head dog. And when Mr. Guy Barr was relieved, they put somebody else that was a head dog, and eventually they left. Bel Edwards cannot save us. He can't buy enough businesses to save us. I'm glad this guy called. I forget the guy that called. Clint, thanks for calling. I wish he was so right, but he's not right. This is politics, folks. I've been telling y'all. The News Star, the Advocate, the Times-Picayune, Jim Beam. Jim don't even send me his stuff anymore. He's so embarrassed. I got stuff from Jim Beam for 15 years. I got on the exit list. Why? Told the truth. You don't tell the truth with these political junkies. They want to be known as heroes. I'm telling you, I forgot more yesterday than Hilbert knows. And I ain't that bright. But that's what they had. Exclusive deal, Governor Edwards CenturyLink Reach deal to keep headquarters in Louisiana. All a bunch of malarkey. But yeah, there it is. Sitting right there in color, Brandon. You sent it to me. I'm having to fight it. Just give me an example. John George, who owns the Advocate, okay? John George started Lemonade Day, 10 years ago, whatever it was. John George used to come on my program. Brandon, John George is a gigantic fan of Bill Edwards. The other day I got a deal that Governor Bill Edwards and somebody else would be leading the charge for Lemonade Day. He just said, hey, Governor, take credit for this. I'll put it in the paper. And that's what they've done. Edwards has cut no deal. Edwards is not a kingmaker. He's not a business guy. He's a trial lawyer. Period. But that's fine. People want to buy into it, let them buy into it. But I told y'all all this was coming. All this was always coming on election. He's going to be known before it's over as the economic guru. He's 5.2% unemployment rate. Matter of fact, I just pulled up some numbers. You realize in Lafayette it's 5.1. Baton Rouge, which is supposed to be doing great, Brandon, went from 4.3 in January of 2018 to 4.7 now. But yet the headlines at Baton Rouge has 3,500 jobs. The unemployment rate went up from 4.3 to 4.7. New Orleans is at 4.8. Lake Charles is at 5.1. Lake Charles has the same unemployment rate as Lafayette, and they're supposed to be booming. But the state is 5.2, Brandon. The country is 3.8. And they're telling you he's a economic guru. By the way, I want to see what the fourth quarter GDP did. We were 1.9, one of the lowest in the country in the third quarter of last year. Let's go, Samuel in Ellick. How you doing, Samuel?
I'm fine, man. How are you this morning?
Samuel, I'm doing great, really. I just hate all this lying in the media, but go ahead.
I have a question for you, man.
Yes, sir.
Because you're from political means. If you were governor of the state of Louisiana, what would your press release say right now? Would you take credit for any of the jobs that are coming or staying?
I would take credit for jobs that are coming. I think it's ridiculous to take credit for jobs that are staying. I think it's totally obnoxious to say, well, we saved jobs. That was a Bobby Jindal term. But here's the thing. Bill Edwards can't take credit for jobs that are coming when everything he did was force jobs out of here. He's taking credit for Medicaid jobs, 19,000 Medicaid jobs, because he took billions from the federal government. What did he do? What did he do to make CenturyLink stay? I'm just kind of curious. What do you think he's done to make business better when unemployment's at 5.2 and people are moving the hell out of here? I mean, where does he get credit for? How can he take credit for anything business-wise?
People have been moving out of Louisiana for the past 35 years.
Correct. I won't argue with that.
We know that. So let's find a way to fix it or make it better. Let's get positive.
Hey, Samuel, you can't. If you had cancer, you wouldn't want the doctor to be positive. You'd want him to fix it. Raising taxes by $7 billion was the worst thing you can do for this economy. He came in when the thing was 5.8 or 6 point whatever for unemployment. It went down to 4 something and it's headed back up again. You want to be positive. I want to be positive too. But raising taxes on the businesses and raising them on the people is not positive. That is a negative. That's why we're struggling as bad as we are.
you have a state Senate that's Republican. Why aren't we holding their feet to the fire to keep things in line?
Man, I've been as nasty as I can be on them too. They went right there with Alario. A lot of them fake Republicans. Samuel, it's fake Republicans. John Alario is a fake Republican. They just are. They're just not doing the job. They didn't hold Bell Edwards. They went with him.
Well, why doesn't the state get together and work for a middle ground, man? It seems like Republicans do one thing, Democrats do one thing, and
actually, let me correct you. Okay, and I don't mean this ugly. I agree with what you said. We don't change anything. What we do, no matter who the governor is, we go in the same direction. Bobby Jindal chose to spend every penny we had. Bell Edwards chose to spend every penny we had and every penny he could get. We don't really change anything, Samuel. That's the problem, brother. We don't change anything. I said that in my earlier monologue. We don't change anything. We just add more money to do the same things we've been doing. You're right. Why don't we do it? I'm not the guy to ask. I'm begging these people to change something. By the way, Republican and Democrat, Samuel.
But you're the guy with the microphone, man. Let's make some positive changes here.
Well, you got to. We got to go find out the friendliest business states and act just like them, and we don't have the guys willing to do that. Hi, y'all. Welcome back, Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. By the way, Samuel that called from Alex. Samuel, I love the call. Samuel, they won't do what we begged them to do. They will not make this a friendly business state. There's so many people tied to the government state government, local parishes, and everything invested in them. They don't want to change it. Well, I know, and I agree with Samuel. It seemed like they could get together. Yes, they could, but they're not. You got to have somebody to lead them. Jindal wasn't the leader. Jim, we thought he was going to be, but he wasn't. Bell Edwards just went totally opposite way. He took the government that we had, the business climate we had, said, I don't care what it looks like. We're going to move forward just like we always have. We're just going to have a lot more money to do it. Didn't change a thing. Bell Edwards didn't fix one thing, but he's going to save CenturyLink. I wish he had the passion to save the oil and gas jobs as he has passion to tax us to death. He would change it in a second. We'd have oil and gas jobs here like we used to. But he has no passion for that. He has he's leading us down the wrong path. And I got to tell you, a lot of the governors have done that in the fact that they've not taken this thing serious and changed what they need to change. Tort reform and all the stuff that needs to change. Every one of them was going to fix education, but we stay at 49th or 50th. Jethro on I-10. How you doing, Jethro?
I'm doing fabulous, Moon. I know you kind of busy. You want me to go on in it?
Yeah, go ahead. What you got?
All right, look, they got a little blog that's called The Buzz there in Houma, Louisiana, Terrebonne Parish. And they had an article in there about how the Louisiana Department of Natural Resource, that's Richard Ayuk, that's the old Edwin Edwards Attorney General.
That's the most suit-happy guy in the country.
Now listen to this. He went to the Terrebonne Parish District Attorney, Joe Waits, and got him to hire outside counsel to look at suing the oil companies for the coastal restoration stuff. And the Terrebonne Parish president and council didn't want to get involved with the other parishes in suing the oil companies. And there's a roundabout way that Bell Edwards and the trial lawyers are trying to include Terrebonne and Lafourche Parish in that damn
they got
that big lawsuit.
Yeah, what they got is I think it's 6 parishes, 8 parishes right now suing. They wanted all of them. Bell Edwards and them told them, y'all ain't gonna get it if you don't sue. And Richard Ayuk, I want you to think about this. They talk about Bell Edwards. He appoints the most pro-abortion person in the world to head DHH. And I'm gonna get to that in a minute. And then he appoints Richard Ayuk, the suit-happy liberal that he is, over an environmental deal, and they run in these lawsuits. So, yeah, I'm telling you what's going on. I'm looking at reality, but I might be the only one.
I'm going to tell you right now, there's no reason Richard Ayuk should be over the Louisiana Department of Natural Resources. He's not a geologist. He's not a petroleum engineer. And LDNR, our coastal scientists, and all he is a lawyer. So what's he's involved over in the Department of Natural Resources?
You just called it. He's a lawyer. And
I want the people to know.
The people that are Bill Edwards' biggest fans and biggest money contributors are heavy in the lawsuit. The Carmouche Group, they all heavy in the lawsuits down there. And that's what's going on. So when you vote for Bill Edwards, you better hope and pray your business ain't going to be sued next. I'm surprised they hadn't gone after the farmers, the chemical industry. I mean, everything that's doing good here, I'm surprised he hadn't gone after it yet.
Well, they're going to the chemical on Monsanto and DuPont and LaPlace over yonder. But they're going, they're letting these outside big law firms do the dirty work.
Well, what I'm telling you on that is, a few years ago, Cory Booker came down here. And Cory Booker was talking bad about the chemical industries and how they have to be sued. And so Bill Edwards' party is the Democrat Party. So he's stepping stone with everything the Democrat Party's doing, including abortion. I'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah. Well, Moon, I got to go pay taxes, man. Y'all have a great day.
Yeah, by the way, I tell people the government workers ought to call in, not the people pulling the wagon, because you guys, you just wasted 3 or 4 minutes, and you could have been making some money so we can pay more taxes so we can have more money in government. That's how that works, Let me see what I got. This came in to me. Here it is right here. Okay. In the News Star, Brandon. By the way, this was also done, Melinda Desolate, I call her. That may not how you say her name, but she's Associated Press. So this was written all over. Headlines, abortion a difficult fight to pick with Edwards with. Because Edwards has signed some pro-life stuff and all that stuff. I don't think it's difficult at all. The governor keeps talking he's pro-life because he's in a state that if he was pro-death, automatically he would be beat. He ought to be beat anyway. I look at actions. Yeah, he signed some things in law. But he put somebody ahead of DHS, Miss Gee. She's as pro-board as you get. When Governor Northern got busted down with fanticide, killing babies right before they're born, killing them after they're born. Fanticide, kill them after. Bill Edwards didn't send back the more than $100,000 he raised from that guy. Didn't say one word about that governor. Not one. So what did I tell you the media's doing? Melinda's right down the line. We got to protect John Bell. We got to make sure he's not weak on abortion issue. We need him to be pro-life for one more election. How many of you people think if Bill Edwards was the president of the United States and he was a Democrat, something happened and he got to appoint a Supreme Court justice that would be pro-life? He wouldn't be. If the people that are now coming to him and giving him money, and they're mostly to the left and trial lawyers and people that love the Democrat Party and they love abortion. How do you love abortion? I have no idea, but they do. If that's the ones giving money to your candidate, money is what talks and what walks. Why didn't he give back the money to Governor Northern or the rest of those people that raised money for him when he raised money with the governor? Those guys, when they do that kind of fundraiser, they expect something in return. If it came down to it and the governor had to choose between pro-life and pro-choice, I'm telling you, he's going to pick pro-choice. He has no choice. Sit here and talk about it all he wants to. When the newspaper and the media are now writing headline stories, this is the front page of the News Star. Front page of the News Star. Monroe Fish Wrap, that's how somebody sent it to me, promoting Edwards because they're promoting him on this because they know he gets beat in 2 seconds if he acts like he was pro-choice. And he is. They kill babies. And Bill Edwards, let me tell you what Bill Edwards is doing. He's able, with the help of the press, to do both sides. I can go raise money from Governor Northern. I can raise $100,000 from old Governor Northern, killing babies and killing them after they're born. And I got the Advocate and the Times-Picayune and the Gannett newspapers to cover my butt and tell everybody how I'm pro-life. He's having it both ways if we let him. Now, people in the churches, you could sit here and go, well, I mean, he's pro-life. But my God, he raises his money from people who are pro-killing babies. Most of his money comes from people who believes in the Democrat Party way in killing babies. So when the paper, and I told y'all this was coming, it's election year. He's the economic guru. He's the job-creating guru. He's pro-life, pro-Second Amendment. Although they did a story on him in a magazine, and he didn't talk about the Second Amendment. He said, well, I believe it. I carry guns. I got guns for hunting purposes. Nothing to do with the Second Amendment. He wouldn't touch that. And when he had a chance to knock out some banks who were trying to determine, tell us, the people in Louisiana, what to think about guns, these banks, you had Jeff Landry. You had Schroeder. You had Antoine. You had Blake Miguez and other people step up and say, no, we're not voting for the banks. We're voting to get rid of those banks, and they did. It was Bell Edwards and John Hilario and all those gurus of the left that said, no, don't do that. We can't do that. We can't do that. He never stepped up. When did Bell Edwards, I know what he said. When has Bell Edwards stepped up in a Second Amendment deal? Can you tell me when did he do that? He didn't. He's never stood up for the Second Amendment. Somebody wrote, believing that Bell is actually pro-life is like believing that Satan is against sin. That's about as good as well-put example as I can possibly see. You know, that's the problem with all this, folks. He's able to walk the tight line with abortion and the Second Amendment. In this state, it would doom him because the media is telling you that. And I'm here to tell you, he hadn't took a stand on the Second Amendment at all, and his pro-life stand has been okay. But on the flip side, when he had a chance to really prove he was pro-life, he didn't. He didn't. Look at what they do, not what they say. He didn't. He's not an economic guru like they're trying to make you believe. He doesn't care about jobs and businesses. He only cares about the ones he can sue. Now, I've been honest with you. You want to vote for that, vote for that. But you get what you deserve. We got to go. We'll take a break. 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline. Take a break. Be right back.